Harge, text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Now back to the Hard Knocks Live.
The Texas baseball team, they heard that song right after their victory on a walk-off fashion, well, run rule fashion on Sunday. But they're 6-3 on a 10-game homestand. But last night or yesterday afternoon against Baylor, they won 11-1. On Saturday, they won 10-2 on a complete game performance by my man Ace Whitehead. Ace Whitehead went out there and pitched his behind off. This is a guy that has just been biding his time. And after the game on Friday, when I was fortunate enough to make that call, Texas losing 4-3 in 11 innings. I talked to David Pearson. I asked him about Ace Whitehead getting his start, and Ace Whitehead goes out and he pounds the strike zone. It doesn't matter how hard you throw the baseball. You can throw it 100 miles an hour. If it's not a strike, it doesn't matter. I don't care about your spin rate. I don't care about none of that if you're not throwing strikes. And what Ace Whitehead has been able to do is go out there and deliver every single opportunity. He doesn't get that many. But when he does, he handles his business. So I'm very happy for Ace Whitehead and what he's been able to do. Yesterday's game, Max Grubbs went out and pitched 7 strong. This is the second time Max has been able to do that. Max Grubbs 3-0 on the season, going 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run with 5 strikeouts. Been able to handle his business. But at the plate, Max Ballou, Mad Max is what they call him out there, was able to hit 3 home runs already to make this happen. So Max Ballou had a huge day yesterday with 6 RBIs. The Texas top of the lineup continues to do what they do, and I've been very impressed with this team at the plate. Some of these guys go to opposite field. Some guys try to drive the ball up out of the park. My man Max Ballou went straight away center field. There's our guy Keith Moreland being able to make that call on LHN. I mean, absolute crush job. And Keith he's an all-time great here at the University of Texas. So he's seen a lot of baseball here. He talks about that power that Ballou has, and the ball just seems to jump off of his bat. He's done a great job in the outfield as well. Been very impressed with what Max Ballou's been able to do. Ryan Galvan got a chance to catch and gave Kimball Schuessler a little time off, but Schuessler hit a home run as well. Big time stuff from this Texas baseball team. They have one more game tomorrow night against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. I will be on the call with my man Craig Way as we prepare for Texas to get back into conference play. That's 2 weekends of conference play and 2 series wins. So they're trying to figure it out. Then they go on the road to take on the first place K-State Wildcats. We'll be back in just a moment. Hour number 1 is in the books. Hour number 2 is just around the corner. When I say don't go anywhere, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the Hard Knocks Life right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
it's ripped from you. You don't want it to end, and your whole way of life is head right out. It's so strong. It's always going to be bigger than basketball. You can just guys in the first time, got to build that brotherhood off the court. A lot of people think that's what basketball. I would think I would definitely have a lifetime. So, looking for the time, the emotional talking about him, how much, he showed me how to be definitely, so.
It's an emotional time for all of these players, and especially at the end of the year. And what I was meaning about Coach Rodney Terry, because again, a lot of people are always talking about, well, Coach Terry may not be that guy. Well, Coach Terry maybe. They were sitting together in the stands during the women's game. So then you start to believe in everything that is going on and family part of it. But I want you to hear the emotion in Dylan DeSue and what Coach Terry means to him and his family, and most importantly, how he brought Dylan back to basketball.
Kind of love that he instilled in you? I mean, talk about the confidence. Yeah, I mean, just the confidence and the collection he gave me. It's a different style of coaching that was a little different from the previous one. That really helped me to get back to being me on and off the court.
The Brock Cunningham audio was brought to you by Travis Rychek, and that audio of Dylan DeSue and what Coach RT means to him was by my man Noah Gross. So you sit here and you start to believe what you want to believe, what you see on the court. And that is the things that I continue to talk to you about. Is it's easy for us to cast blame on something or somebody. But at the end of the day, what he's trying to achieve for this team is for these young men as individuals. Because, yes, it's a team effort. Everybody's got to be engaged. Everybody's got to be involved. Of course, this is a team sport. This isn't golf. This isn't singles tennis. But when you can talk to somebody that is having a troubled time, that's why I call this Motivated Monday. You got to be excited about it. You got to find a way to bring the energy out every single day, because everybody talks about the Mondays. I'm excited about Monday. It means I'm here. I get an opportunity to come out and talk to you and share my thoughts of what I've seen over the last weekend. But most importantly, Rodney Terry was able to motivate a guy that it seemed like he didn't even want to play basketball anymore. And I don't know if you caught the conversation about how being coached. Everybody can't be coached the same way. That's coaching. Again, why do we have to continue to have these conversations? Some people don't like to be yelled at. Some people do know who it is and who it's not. Because they're talented players. They wouldn't be here if they weren't. But your style of coaching, what? Make adjustments. Make adjustments. Oh, they got to do what I say do, and this is the way it's got to be done. Not necessarily, man. Not necessarily. There's other ways. They always said you can always find another way to make things happen. So that is the message. So when you're ready to look at Coach Terry and be like, oh, man, he ain't got it. He ain't got it. You got to understand there's other people that are involved in this too. And there's other ways of getting to these people because I think he's got it. I think it's crazy the conversations that we've had. He's 4-2 in the last two postseasons. He's better than the coaches that we had here before, whether you want to believe it or not. The coach that you love that's not here, his team didn't even make the tournament. So let's see what happens next. And let's see what happens after they can get an opportunity to continue to build the thing in his image. Yeah, Shaka went somewhere else and got the different types of players that he wanted to get. And it wasn't one of those ones that needed to be where he's at. So just take that into consideration when you start thinking about all of these other things that are happening. We'll be back with the Hard Knocks Life right here, and we'll talk a little bit about March Madness. That's right. H-Town, stand up. UNC, my bracket. Right here on the Hard Knocks Life on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
on the Harge Knocks Live. Have your voice heard on the show by using the iHeartRadio app talkback feature. Now here's Mike Hardball Harge.
Welcome back to the Harge Knocks Life right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Texas women's team. Yes, I'll get into March Madness and what has happened with Jamal Shead and that Houston Cougars basketball team as they continue to roll on, but did get a scare for the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies last night. But I wanted to talk about this Texas women's basketball team and what Coach Vic Schaefer has been able to do. Look, this has been a tough run for this basketball team. And what I mean by that, and I know people are like, wait, what do you mean a tough run? They got 32 wins. They've done unbelievable work. But the way that they've been able to achieve this has been an overjoy of an overabundance of great players. And again, it don't always have to be about the numbers that are being put up. They are 32-4 this season. They've won 14 out of the last 15. 32 wins is the most for a Texas basketball team since the 87-88 team. But it's the way that they've been able to go about it. It's the different types of players that have had a presence in this lineup. And none more evident than what Aaliyah Moore has been able to do with this basketball team. The way that she has played the entire year and what she's seen from this team throughout this moment has been something short of amazing. As we talked about before, she's dealt with injuries the entire time she's been here. Over the last couple of years, she's been trying to fight and bounce back from certain injuries that sometimes she can't even practice at one point during the year. Now she's feeling better, but she still had moments throughout this weekend where coach decided to give her a break and let her take some time off. But you still want to be out there, and she still wants to push, and she still wants to be ready for her team. And she talked a little bit about that yesterday. And that's what she's been able to do the entire time. She's doing what they're asking to make sure that her body is in a good position for them to come out and play well. Her and Madison Booker had great basketball games yesterday. They did an unbelievable job as the team got out and got that big victory yesterday, 65-54 over Alabama. She had 21 points. Madison Booker had 21 points. Deanna Gaston had 9. Taylor Jones had 5, but they had 11 blocks as a team, so they're playing unbelievable defense during that time. But one of the things that was asked by our man Chip Brown of Horns 24/7 was the fact that she had to get back from last year's injuries, because last year she had to sit on that bench and watch her team lose at home against a good basketball team. But it was one of those moments in her career that she said that she didn't ever want to feel again, but she wanted to make sure that she got back on the court. Four more victories. Coach Vic Schaefer said, give me 6. Well, they got 2 out the way. Now they have to go and travel out west and get that opportunity again to win 2 more games. And we're going in 2s right now. We're going in 2s. And that's what this team has been looking at. The next matchup for them, they will take on the winner of Gonzaga and Utah. They play today. tonight rather at 9:30 at night on ESPN2 if you want to get a chance to watch who Texas should be playing in that matchup. And if Texas can get past that, they'll play against the Stanford winner of the Stanford versus either Tennessee or North Carolina State. They play this afternoon at 3 o'clock. So you'll be able to watch a lot of basketball. Women's basketball will be on TV starting today, I believe, at 1 o'clock this afternoon, as they make their ways to try to get to the Final Four. As the men came up short for the University of Texas, the women seem to be trending in the right direction. I also wanted to bring this up a little bit because Jamal Shead from H-Town, well, he's actually from Maynard, Texas, local kid, was able to will his team to a victory yesterday. And think about this. He was the first player in the history of the Big 12 Conference to be named Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. Think about that. Local kid, right up the road, being able to be highlighted across the nation as one of the best players in the history of the Big 12. The Big 12 has had a ton of talent in it, but the University of Houston continues to find a way to get victories. Even after last night's game, hard-fought battle between them and Texas A&M. Texas A&M was battling, finding ways. That draw up of the last three-pointer to send it to overtime was unbelievable when you start to think about how that team played. They ended up going to overtime. Texas A&M ended up losing to University of Houston 100-95. But it was a battle. And Jamal Shead didn't play his best game because he fouled out. Matter of fact, they had 3 guys foul out for the University of Houston. I'll take that back. They had 4 guys foul out for the University of Houston. And for them to be able to will themselves to that victory, as it was an absolute battle from top to finish, and for Texas A&M to give them to the wire, University of Houston, just goes to show you the battle-tested version of who the Houston Cougars are. Now, I know a lot of people always talk about the fact that this is going to be difficult. They've been the number 1 team in the nation for quite some time. They're a number 1 seed. They battled all the way through, but Jamal Shead was able to make it do what it do at the end of the games. And I was so impressed when you get a chance to see that. And another kid, Ryan Elvin, got a chance to play. Kid from Cedar Ridge, Round Rock, Texas, went to Cedar Ridge. He had to come into the game last night and make a crucial free throw to put them up two possessions, which wasn't. The dude only had 4 free throws the entire year. Think about that. 4 free throws the entire year, and he gets into a pressure situation and is able to walk up there and knock it down. It's been very impressive to watch this University of Houston Cougar team all year, what they've been able to accomplish, how they've been able to accomplish it has made me wonder, is that the type of defense that you want to see from your Texas Longhorns team? I believe so. He's got dogs on that team. Like, nothing's pretty about anything that they do. But you have it. It's like the quarterback position. You got to have a difference maker at the point guard position. And although it's very rare that you can get a guy like that, Jamal Shead, you got to start looking at a lot of these guys, not necessarily for their height, not necessarily for how many stars they have. You need to start looking at some guys that you can build your program around, that want to be here at the University of Texas, that want to be part of your culture, and look at the heart of the person that is out there. Because everybody's not going to be the biggest on the court. Everybody's not going to be the biggest on the field. But those guys that go out there and play with that energy, Kendall Weaver, those are the guys that you need on the team. Those guys that are going to play hard no matter the situation. diving on the floor, taking charges, being an assist guy, running the floor, moving the ball around, making the right basketball play instead of being selfish. Those are the guys that you want to play at your university. Yeah, everybody can't play at this school or can't play at that school. But there's a lot of guys that get overlooked because of stats and because of analytics. Analytics don't judge heart, man. Analytics don't judge smarts. It convolutes everything because coaches that are watching the game or then they go back and look at the stats and they're like, oh, no, his plus minus wasn't that great. What was he doing to help impact the game? Watch the game sometimes. Watch the film because y'all are the ones that are always talking about the film don't lie. Can't tell you how many times I've heard that in my life. The film don't lie. So watch the game and see what this guy has done for you and see if this is somebody that can fit your program for what you need. Quit looking at all the stars because there's not a lot of stars on that University of Houston team. Yes, they got good coaching, but they got some dogs over there that will go to war for each other. Those are the types of kids that you need to start looking at. Those ones that really want to lay it on the line for you. That's the importance to me. That's what it's always been to me, to be quite honest with you. You got to be able to find those because it is that type of party. But again, I was going to call it Midnight Madness. The March Madness continues to roll on. And this has been so much fun because these are the types of games that you continue to stay up all night. I believe my team that I still have in it, that I have to win it, is North Carolina. I believe in U of H, but I want to see U of H and North Carolina play each other for the championship on April the 8th. That's who I want to see. Shaka Smart gets his team, Marquette, to the Sweet 16. They will be taking on NC State, Mr. Cinderella. University of Houston will be taking on Duke in the Sweet 16. UConn, number 1 overall seed, will be taking on San Diego State in the Sweet 16. Iowa State representing the Big 12. Them in Houston are still in it. Iowa State will take on Illinois in a Sweet 16 matchup. North Carolina, Alabama, and Clemson, Arizona, Tennessee, after defeating the Texas Longhorns 62-58, will take on Creighton, number 2 versus number 3. Arizona and Clemson is a 2 versus 6. Purdue and Gonzaga. Is Purdue going to make a real serious run? I know a lot of people believe in Purdue, but that's a team that has always come up short in the end. They'll be battling Gonzaga in a Sweet 16 matchup of a 1-5. Alabama and North Carolina is a 1-4. NC State 11 versus Marquette a 2. Illinois and Iowa State a 2, Illinois a 3. And of course, 1-4 with University of Houston and Duke, 1-5 with UConn and San Diego State. Sweet 16 is set, folks. Exciting times are yet to be had because this is what it's all about. They're getting closer to being crowned the NCAA basketball champions, and it is a tough road to hoe when you start to think about, man, how did we get here? When we come back, we're going to have another conversation about Texas football, and I want to talk about that defensive line. Yeah, we've talked a lot about it, but now they're back on the field, and we'll have that conversation again right here on the Hard Knocks Life on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Longhorns back.
What's up, man?
Longhorns basketball plays here. Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeartCountry Festival at the Moody Center on Saturday, May 4th. Tickets on sale now at iHeartCountryFestival.com.
East 8th Street, right around Congress Ave, we do still have a trouble spot
About a 5-minute delay getting through the collision. Team landing inside their circuit says those constructing additional steps to remain. Report with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Save big during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Buy one select DeWalt 20V Max tool. Get one DeWalt 20V Max Power Stack battery 2-pack free, a $179 value. Valid 3/18 through 3/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
What's up, Central Texas? It's Hardball Harge, and I've got to share my favorite dealership, Cobra Ford and Hutto. They've been rocking the road since 1909. That's 115 years in counting. And it's not just a dealership, it's a family legacy, community-driven, and the Cobrats give back. When you choose Cobra Ford, you're choosing more than a car. You're choosing a piece of history. Cobra Ford, where family, community, and excellence collide. Head on over to CobraFord.com or swing by 1200 US 79 in Hutto, Texas. Cobra Ford and Hutto, where tradition meets the open road. Tell them Hardball sent you.
Embark on a journey through the most absurd moments of the human story with Ridiculous History, the podcast that explores the bizarre corners of human existence, like the evolution of the toilet, the story of Comic Sans, or the exploits of the notorious Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr is like, one day my life is going to be part of a musical. However, though, he probably didn't necessarily at this point think that he was going to be.
Listen to Ridiculous History on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's the difference between an ordinary EV and a Mercedes-Benz EV? Really? Electric is what gets you, but Mercedes-Benz is what moves you. Feel the freedom of the superbly versatile 7-seater EQV. Revel in the inspired, customizable comfort of the EQE sedan. Sense the brilliant intelligence of the EQE SUV. Discover the boundless capability of the EQS SUV. And luxuriate in the flagship meets spaceship magnificence of the EQS. Every Mercedes-Benz electric vehicle offers the very latest MBUX voice-activated AI software, as well as remote access to a whole host of functions via the Mercedes Me Connect app. The vehicles are all electric, the feeling all Mercedes. The choice is all yours. Test drive a Mercedes-Benz electric model today at your local dealer. To learn more at mbusa.com/EQ.
Doug Gottlieb here. March is here. That means kick day. Planning college basketball. Just like in basketball, every team needs its MVP. When it comes to team members who go above and beyond, Tractor Supply has the winning line. Our home team at Tractor Supply is excited to support your hometown. We're proud to be part of the excitement of college basketball tournament season, and our home team looks forward to serving your hometown. Because every day is game day at Tractor Supply.
You're working really hard and you got a lot of pride. We're running this together for a long, long ride. You can depend on us for top routine. Give us every day. We'll always stand by you.
You won't find us rushing you along, trying to upsell you or confuse you with financial lingo. Our number one goal is your 100% satisfaction. For a better experience, together let's drive at HennaChevyAustin.com.
This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring.
Do you know what ranked Texas is coming back as?
QC Kinetics is the nation's
for football. They're top 3.
Lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no
they're top 3.
downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. They're
especially with Nick Saban being gone.
Body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue.
Yeah.
Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but
I
now
think a lot of people have
life-changing
faith
treatment
in
is available
Alabama
for you.
this year.
So you can walk and run.
Yeah, but you still got to be careful. They got talent.
Oh,
It's still Bama. And that coach actually is
good.
Damn good coach.
Yeah, he's a good coach. I mean, I still think they're going to be a good team, but you know, not having the Nick Saban brand behind you is going to hit a little different after 20 years.
Yeah.
They haven't had new coaching.
512-593-4303.
Yeah.
512-593-4303. 512-593-4303.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money.
Do you go to every game? Are you like at every game?
Are we all just looking for the hottest
No.
stocks?
No?
We
No.
diversified
Is that like
strategies to
because you're
position
calling it
clients'
here? Or
portfolios
No,
to their
because I'm either
You don't just provide cookie cutter portfolios.
doing the pregame show and then I go back to my house to watch it so I can actually watch it because I don't want people fucking with me, or I'm at my kid's game. My kid plays a lot, so, and that's normally during soccer season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structure, so we do better,
Right.
our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do.
Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Watch the show live on Facebook and YouTube each morning. Now here's Mike Hardball Harge.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Hardge Knocks Life. Greatly appreciate it. And as we continue to move on, we're going to get into Texas football because this is that time of year where we're getting ready for the spring game, April the 20th. That's right, April the 20th, right at DKR Memorial Stadium. Texas football will establish itself as an SEC member. Now, I don't know exactly when the transformation will be happening as far as putting it on the field, making sure that, the SEC logo is out there, getting the Big 12 logo. It may already be done, but just like at volleyball's already changed their court, and it looks beautiful when you start to think about how everything is going. But I wanted to bring this up right now because the SEC has established the 2025 schedule format, and everybody was anticipating a big change in the format. Well, it's not going to be one. There's not going to be a big change. The only thing is the teams that we're playing this year at home, we go to their place the following year. Now, so 2025, Texas will host Arkansas and A&M and Vanderbilt at DKR. The Red River shootout, I know it's rivalry, but I don't like saying it together, against Oklahoma. The Longhorns will travel to Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, and Mississippi State. So get your tickets now if you're trying to travel in 2025. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you'll be able to get those tickets just yet. But those are your road games: Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, and Mississippi State, as Texas continues to fill their schedule. But since the schedule is full of SEC games, Texas will add a home game versus Sam Houston on September the 27th to settle out their non-conference schedule. The Longhorns open the season at Ohio State on August the 30th before hosting San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston for their home matchups. Going on the road to Ohio State is a huge, huge matchup to start the year and an exciting matchup. I don't know about everybody else that wants to go to Ohio State. Those people are not friendly at all. But I wanted to talk about this Texas football team and what they have been able to achieve, obviously, with some guys like Byron Murphy, and you look at Tavondre Sweat and what they were able to build. I got a chance to look at Alfred Collins the other day, not in action, because I haven't, when they have their practice windows open, it's when I'm just getting off the air. So I'm never over there to be able to see them. But what I have seen is what I have seen is the fact that Alfred Collins is a huge human being. I'm talking about massive. And that's just seeing him in street clothes. If he can get it going, and I mean really get it going on that Texas defensive line, he could be a first-round draft pick. He could definitely be a just on size alone. People talk about the eye test. I always talk about who would you want to see the first one off the bus. He would be somebody that I want to be the first one off the bus. So when people see him get off the bus, they were like, do all of them look like that? Yes. Texas is getting to that point. Texas is getting those types of players. And then you look at Vernon Broughton, what he's been able to do with his time here. He was highly recruited, somebody that got a lot of expectations thrown on him, and rightfully so, because he's that type of player. Now Texas is starting to get those big humans that they talk about all the time. When you start to break down this Texas defensive line, and I love the fact of what Coach Sark said last week. He brought up the fact and what's going to be gone. Well, there's a lot of guys that are still here that played significant snaps, important snaps last year and the year before that. So this isn't a green Texas defensive line. This isn't a team that they just got guys from high school and they're freshmen and they're being thrown into the fire. No, these guys have gone through the weight program multiple years. They couldn't get on the field significantly because of the guys that were in front of them, possible first-round draft picks. But the fact still remains, they play significant reps for this Texas football team. Barron Sorrell once led the team in sacks. Quickly, too. Ethan Burt played significant snaps. Vossi. These guys are getting their opportunities to be on the field. So when you got guys, and then you talk about a Trey Moore who's come in and fit the system from UTSA. You got Anthony Hill Jr., absolute monster in the middle of the defense, coming off the edge. You got Colin Simmons now. You've got guys that can be impactful. You have guys that are going to get their opportunities to really, really establish a name for themselves. And I can't wait. I can't wait. This is probably the most excited season that I've had for the University of Texas in quite some time. And a lot of people don't truly understand that. They're like, what? This is the most excited I've been for a Texas football team in a very, very long time. Why are you so excited about it, Hardge? It's because the unknown of it. The unknown. The anticipation of a team that we got a chance to see elevate themselves to a whole nother level. Then you get some guys on the back end that get an opportunity to transfer in. They get that opportunity to come back and play at this university and have the same heart and desire because of the guys that were before them. And why are they going to get a chance to play at this level? Because they have now changed the culture. They have now changed the level of expectations. They have kids that are now chomping at the bit because they had a chance to be a part of the success at the University of Texas. They see the glitz and the glamour of when you win at the University of Texas. And you can say it at any university, but I'm specifically talking to the University of Texas players and with their opportunities to take over. You start looking at a Jake Majors. Jake Majors is back again to anchor down that center position. You see a Kelvin Banks, somebody that is projected to be a first-round pick, probably can get a chance to be the first offensive player off the board for the University of Texas. Yeah, buddy, there's some good things that are going to be happening here at the university, and everyone should be excited. From the D-line to the back end to the linebacker position, who is ready to take that next step? That is why I'm very excited about the possibilities of what can happen here at the University of Texas. So get your popcorn ready, folks. Hey, SEC time and the fun that's going to be had with it is about to happen right now. When we come back, we'll close out the show, and I want you to hear something that I've been telling you was going to happen, and now it has come true, and I'm so excited about this as well. The champions get better, and they're bringing a little youth with them as well. Don't go anywhere. Hardge Knocks Life will be right back for one more segment before we send you off to Dan Patrick right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone, Motivated Monday. That's right, people. Go out and get it today because it's not going to leave. It's not going to go anywhere. You go take care of it right now. So go get it today. I wanted to bring this up because this is something I've been talking about for quite some time. As a Texas Ranger fan, and yes, I do like the Astros. I know we're not supposed to like both of them, but as an independent party, I enjoy both of these organizations because now we have a true rivalry that is built back up again between the Rangers and the Astros. The Astros pretty much owned the Rangers for years, so now we have a battle. And one of the biggest stories coming out of training camp, spring training, as Major League Baseball kicks off opening day, the American soil opening day will be this Thursday, and Round Rock Express will kick off their season this Friday. But Wyatt Langford, he was the 4th overall draft pick last year by the Texas Rangers. There was an opportunity that he might be the first player drafted overall, but Paul Skeens was. But this is the moment that every player, when you're growing up as a kid, this is what you want to have happen.
How fast this is all happening for you. And I got to tell you, they're breaking down in our mind. I don't get it breaking down. I just want you to know, this is really, really cool for me. It'll help us win. It'll help us win a championship here. So, that was just a year ago, 21st years. So it's pretty cool. Nice work.
I'm excited. It's awesome. Wyatt, congratulations. You are it, man. This is just the beginning. You got the best yet to come. So proud of you. Just, great job.
That is what I believe in right there. The stud. He's a stud. And I've been saying that from the very beginning. And I believed in it so much that a while back, I had already put some money down for him to be Rookie of the Year. So, hey, be wise with what you choose. And he was a guy that I believed in from the very beginning. And I knew that he was going to have an opportunity to make it out of spring training. I'm glad that they didn't sit him down. We had Chipper Jones on with us last week. Make sure you get over to our podcast page or wherever you get your podcast on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure that you listen to that conversation that I had with Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones was talking about how some of the moves that are being made with some of these young players are the new major league rules where they don't want to bring them up too soon. And that way they can have their rights for a little bit longer. But I believe you can't keep a good man down. And Wyatt Langford has turned himself into one of those guys. I've been impressed with him from the very beginning. I think the Texas Rangers have a good player in their midst that is going to fit in perfect with what they did last year. Corey Seager's coming back from injury. He just got back on the field, so he should be ready to go. And then I'm going to get some Houston Astro fans on, not fans, but personnel to come on with us so we can preview the season. The baseball season is right around the corner. I'm excited about it. We still have basketball, the Texas women. Congratulations. Season comes up short for the Texas Longhorns, and Texas baseball gets that win. We're the exclusive home of all Texas athletics. No better place to find out everything you need to know about the Longhorns, Texas sports, and just being around. The show must go on. Dan Patrick is next, and I appreciate y'all tuning in to the Hardge Knocks Life on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.